Alright guys, we are recording the first ever live trading process on my YouTube channel. So I wanted to start this recording a little bit before market open, and right now before I started recording I was just gonna mark out all my confluences, but I decided, hey, why don't I just do that on the recording so you guys can see it too. So we marked here. Let me just reset these drawings and just restart. Okay, so right now we're on NQ. I made a TikTok video yesterday night about how on ES I didn't want us to hit all-time highs before market open, and I made that TikTok video around this time, I would say like 6, and as you can see we were going up at the time, but we ended up like I thought we would, just continuing down. So that's where I made the video, and then I was like, I don't think we're going to take all-time highs. Yeah, we're going up, and then we went down. So I was correct on my bias of ES not hitting all-time highs right away so that we can hit it during New York Open. And why did I say that? Well, I said that because I'm thinking like how a market maker would think, right? If I'm a market maker and I want to make a huge amount of money at all-time highs, right? All-time highs are the best take profit for this entire week. This entire week we've been hitting all-time highs like multiple times. So I was like, well, let's hit all-time highs on Friday. So in order to hit all-time highs on Friday and make that a great trading day, you have to not hit it in the freaking pre-market, you know what I'm saying? So that's why we had to sell off. That was my logic behind it. I think it makes sense. It's not like really any statistical or technical analysis. It's kind of more like logical. And you can also see we've been having like days where we hit all-time highs after a sell-off. And this was news, so I didn't catch this move because it was a news candle. But today we're having a similar thing where we moved down, and we didn't have a news candle that was like right here. So I wouldn't be taking longs trying to catch this entire move. I'll just be taking longs trying to catch this move, you know? So I feel less risky taking a trade today to catch longs. So yeah, that's my thoughts going into today. It's 15 minutes before market open, so let's mark out our confluences that I'm going to look at for today. I'm on the 4-hour time frame. Basically, all I do is just mark out the highs and lows that are, what is it called? Priority highs and lows. So this is a priority high and low because this is all-time highs. This would be my ideal take profit for the day. This is a second 4-hour high, which is ideal because it's 4-hour. There's a third. This is also Asia high, so we definitely have to mark that out. It's already marked out by this indicator, but I just use black lines just to make sure I get them. This is London low. That's also ideal. I think we're going to sweep London low and then go higher, or maybe we just never sweep it because we have this fair value gap right here, which is a 4-hour fair value gap, which I'm going to mark out. You can see every time we've hit it, we've reacted off of it. And then there's finally this 4-hour low, which I honestly don't really need to mark out, but and this one too. I really don't need to mark these out because I don't feel like price is going to come all the way down here. And if it does come down here, then my bullish bias was wrong, and by the time price would hit here, there would not be any potential for another bullish move to the upside because that move would be so drastic that the chances of completely V-shaped recoverying to all-time highs, like how I think we would, or like how I want to hit all-time highs, it won't be possible if we get this low. So that's why I wouldn't really mark these out, but I'm marking these out because why not? So I'm not going to really think about them though. Okay, so now we do the same thing for the 1-hour time frame. We mark out the highs and lows, and it's pretty easy. So that's all you have to do going into the day. Well, it's not all, but it's the first thing you have to do. Also, I'm going to make this line double pixel, so I know that's the all-time high. So yeah, now we're marking 1-hour highs and lows. There's one right here. There was one right here somewhere. And there's probably some down here. Yeah, there's one right here. Similar to the 4-hour lows that are all the way down here, don't really need to regard these too much because they're just so far away. And there's 2 1-hour fair value gaps inside of a 4-hour fair value gap protecting those lows. I don't know, was I calling those highs just now? I don't know. But yeah, so we're just going to mark out our 1-hour highs and lows, our 4-hour highs and lows, and then our 1 and 4-hour fair value gaps. You could also mark like order blocks and stuff, but don't really need to. Also, this is kind of like a little bit choppy, so order blocks I feel like aren't really, like if there's any order blocks in this chop, we're already inside of them, so I'm just not going to mark them out. Like for example, if you consider this an order block, right, this move down, then we're already inside of that order block, so why should I mark it out, you know? Also, it makes my chart look terrible, so I'm just going to delete it. So yeah, we have our 1 hour highs and lows marked, our 4 hour highs and lows, our 1 hour fair value gaps, and our 4 hour fair value gap. And by the way, these fair value gaps overlapping is just a super bullish confluence. Also, the fact that we have all-time highs, that's a super bullish draw on liquidity. The strongest draw is easily all-time highs for today. But I'll definitely move to break even once we get past like Asia high, because just to be safe. Or probably, yeah, Asia high, I would say. So now we've done all that on the 1 hour and 4 hour. Actually, let me check if there's any bearish fair value gaps on the 1 hour. Why does my chart keep like getting small like that when I... Okay, so this is a bearish fair value gap right here on the 1 hour. We're inside that right now. I think honestly, I'm not gonna really think this is too strong of a bearish fair value gap, simply because I'm super bullish, so I'm just gonna delete it. Actually, I'm gonna mark equilibrium too on this move. So you go to your Gann box, draw equilibrium, and you can see we've already hit equilibrium. This was yesterday. So the long yesterday was the move from the bottom of this wick to the top. Basically, that was the long for yesterday. That was the move. Today, I think we're just gonna get the same sort of price action where we kind of go down and then just go up. Whether it's a wick or whether it's actually the body of a candle doing that, I don't know. But yeah, so we're in equilibrium. We've hit equilibrium already on this move. So I'm gonna go down to the smaller time frame, the 5 minute. Let me reset my chart view. Okay, so now we're on the 5 minute, and what are we looking for on the 5 minute? Well, it's 10 minutes before market open, so not really too much right now. But what I would be looking for on the 5 minute is just for candles to start going lower to sweep out this London low. And then once we get this sweep of the London low right here, I would be looking for a break of structure to the upside, and then a retrace into a retrace confluence, whether that's a fair value gap, equilibrium, an inverse fair value gap, or no, not an inverse fair value gap, an order block, or breaker block, which honestly breaker blocks I haven't really been using. So I might have to start using those a little bit more, but I've been fine not really paying attention to them too much. Order blocks are honestly like one of the stronger confluences out of the ones on that list. Order blocks and fair value gaps for retrace confluences. And then I would, after that retrace gets hit, I would just be looking for like a continuation confluence. And a continuation confluence is something like an inverse fair value gap or a break of structure to the upside on like the 1 minute. So basically what's going to happen is 5 minute candles will form and look like this. And then they'll break structure to the upside like I said I wanted to look for. And there's that break of structure that would happen right there on that 5 minute. And then for the retrace, we would be looking right here for a 5 minute candle to retrace in there. And then what's going to happen is this leg that you see by this line right here on the 1 minute, that's going to be a 1 minute downtrend. So the continuation confluences would be a 1 minute break of structure to the upside, which by the way is still an uptrend on the 5 minute, because this is what the 5 minute is going to look like, right? You're going to enter right here. As soon as we close out of that retrace, then you're going to target wherever you target, right? But on this way down, the 1 minute is going to be in a downtrend, and then here it's going to be in an uptrend, and then here it's going to be in a downtrend, and then here the 1 minute is going to be in an uptrend. So basically every leg up or down on the 5 minute is like an uptrend up or down on the 1 minute, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's basically what we're looking for. Just basic, my model. I have a ton of videos of it on my TikTok, by the way. Most of the people watching this video are probably from my TikTok though, so that's gonna be fire. Let me delete all this stuff. There's really not much we can do now. We just have to wait. I just dropped a whole bunch of knowledge. There's really not much left to drop for today. I mean, unless you guys want to hear about psychology, which actually you should hear about, because that's probably the... It's definitely at least a 50-50 split between psychology and strategy, I would say trading is. Because psychology is overlooked way too often. You guys have to train your psychology the same way that you train your strategy. So like, how do you guys learn what a fair value gap is? Well, you hear some guy on YouTube say, there's 3 candles in a row, the wicks between the first and the third candle, that's the gap, right? Okay, so that's how you learn what a fair value gap is, right? Now, how do you learn how to fix your psychology? Well, that is a completely different method of teaching yourself how to that's a completely different method of teaching yourself, right? You can't just study psychology and be like, okay, I now know what a psychological change in my mind is going to be and how to do that. Like, no, you have to actually train it through like kind of difficult it's kind of more difficult. So how do you train psychology? Well, you have to first of all understand that like I'll use revenge trading as an example, right? If you're revenge trading, that means your psychology is bad, right? Now your psychology is bad because of a reason. Like, it's not like you're just unlucky, right? You're not just a outlier who is just bad at trading, right? No, there's a reason why you're revenge trading, okay? And for revenge trading, the case is that you're associating like losing your first trade of the day as a loss, and then you're having to fix that loss by taking another trade. So that's your response. That's your psychological response. Are we about to hit freaking London lows in the pre-market and then get a... Okay, anyways, your psychological response is you want to take another trade because you just missed your first one. And that psychological response comes from biologically how your brain is, right? You're like thinking like a hunter. If you miss your first target on like a deer or whatever in the forest and you're still hungry and you have to eat to survive for that day, you're going to go after the next deer and then the next deer after that until you kill one, right? Until you eat one. YouTube, don't censor me for that. Holy voice crack. But right, so that's your response to trading, right? If you lose your first one, you have to catch the next. You have to get the next animal. You know, you can't let this run away. But like, if you associate revenge trading with like killing you, or like not killing you, if you associate taking that second animal as like the opposite of your survival, because you understand now that I've said this, you understand, well, actually, in the case of trading, it's completely the opposite. Revenge trading is completely not beneficial. Then you can kind of associate revenge trading with like a negative, and then once you get that negative in your mind, you'll be like, okay, now I don't really even feel the need or the want to revenge trade, right? So for me, that's what worked for me, is like a logical explanation behind why should I be psychologically, like why should I be a good psychological trader if I'm a good enough strategist, you know? Well, it's because there's reason behind why. It's not just like I'm saying this because so you can feel better. It's like, no, like there's actually a benefit into changing how you think. So I don't know if that helps. I don't know if that really made sense. I tend to find myself like whenever I explain stuff on when I'm recording myself, I always feel like I'm not explaining it well. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but for me, it's like finding an actual reason behind why I'm learning something, or an actual reason. Like for a fair value gap, the reason why you're learning it is obvious because that's where price reacts off of. You can even see it right here. We reacted off this bearish fair value gap. Like, okay, so now I'm going to look at all the fair value gaps that I'll ever see because I'm going to be like, yeah, they do work. You know, like right here, we had a fair value gap that got reacted off of twice pretty much until it got inversed. So it's like there's that now I know why I want to learn a fair value gap, right? Because there's a reason it does react off of fair value gaps. Price does react. So now it's like, well, why do I want to learn psychology? Well, because psychology, your profitability will react off of your psychology as well. Similar to how price reacts off of fair value gap, or like everything in trading that I'm trying to explain to you guys, there's like a reason behind it. So I mean, hopefully that helps. Hopefully you realize now that there's like the exact importance placed on psychology as strategy. And I made the analogy yesterday of like psychology being like a test, that, or like profitability being a test. Yo, what is that? Did we just open? That's crazy. That's a crazy candle. We just teleported to the top. Anyways, I made the analogy yesterday of psychology being like 50% of the grade on a test, while strategy is the other 50%. And if the test is profitability and you have to pass with like a 70% or 80 or whatever the passing grade is, I don't know. I low-key got all A's, so I don't really know what the failing grade is. I think it's 75. If you have to get a 75% or higher, I did not need to do that flex there either. But if you need to get a 75% or higher on the test in order to become profitable, most traders have like a 50% out of 50% on the strategy, but they have like a 10% on psychology, and so they get a 60 on the test, and so they fail the profitability test and they're unprofitable because their profitability score is like a 60%. Like, bro, you failed. you know, so hopefully that makes sense. I mean, for me, making analogies to stuff and finding reasons behind why I should learn stuff helps me, but maybe you guys are different. I don't know. It's just what helps me, in my opinion. And what else am I going to talk about? You know, I just burned like 10 minutes talking about that before market open, so hey, you guys were listening to something. Bro, I like drink coffee, and then it'll like drip down the entire, like, bro, I'm not a good coffee drinker. Probably look so sus on the camera. Also, just so you guys know, this is just TradingView. This is a paper trading account, but my real combine is right here on the second monitor. So the only thing I'm using this paper trading account for is to place mock orders at like however many contracts. And I'm not going to be, yo, there we go. That's what we need. I'm going to be able to see how much I'm risking before entering the trade. And then once I know that a stop loss below this low equals minus $1,260 and a take profit at this high equals 4,000, then I'll be able to be like, okay, now I can place my order on my order dashboard right here, which, by the way, if I press market, even if I press limit, it won't put a stop loss automatically. So there's no way for me to know how much I'm risking if I just press order on that screen, which is kind of dumb, and that's like the biggest flaw with Top Step. This is also a really good day to trade full big boy contracts. So we're getting that London sweep exactly like I said we would in market open. And the reason, what did I just say? I just said it's a good day to trade big boy contracts. Big boy contracts are NQ and ES, because when you're using a funded, yo, we are going to the dumps right now. When you're using a funded, hold on, let me switch my thing on. Let me do something really quick on this screen. NASDAQ. Okay, I was gonna say, when you're using a funded, typically you'll see traders use MES and MNQ because you can get like 5 contracts that are worth like $300. But when you get setups like this, where you have a tight stop loss, and your stop loss is only like however many points, you could just get way more money's worth on your limit order by doing 2 contracts on here, because then you're only risking like 500, right? If the stop loss looks like this, or 650. In my opinion, it's much better to risk like 550 of 2 of these big boy NQ contracts and put your take profit there to make 3,910, then do the exact same trade on MNQ, where let's say you're risking, I don't know how much the stop loss is going to be, but let's say you're risking like, look, even just look at it. You can go to like 20 contracts on this. Like, it's wild, bro. That's 215. But like 15 contracts on MNQ, right? Your take profit is here. You're only making $3,000. And I'm pretty sure it was like, well, you could do 15 or 16. I don't think you're even allowed to trade this many contracts on minis when you're on a funded. But like, you can trade 2 contracts on NQ. So it's, I think if you can ever get a stop loss that lets you place like your stop loss right here or whatever, and it's not like one contract, because sometimes it'll be where like one contract means you're risking like $700 because you'll get an entry that looks like this, and that's like way too much. Then you have to go to the minis and get like a $500 entry. But if the entry looks like this, bro, just do one of these big contracts, because you don't have to end up inputting 20 contracts. Not to mention, this move is worth more than the same exact move at 5 contracts on MNQ. So hopefully that made sense. I mean, a lot of you guys are probably thinking, well, just add more contracts on MNQ. I mean, you could probably, but I don't know. I think it's like an exponential increase. Like I don't know if I'm making sense right now. I'm not gonna lie, but like this move is worth like $10 on MNQ, but it's worth like $100. That's an over exaggeration on NQ. I don't know. I just like risking on bigger contracts. In my opinion, that's what I feel like is best. I'm at the 1 minute time frame. We just had a huge sell-off. We swept out this liquidity on the London low, which is what I was looking for. So now all we really need is a reaction. We're also in like 3 fair value gaps. Not to mention we're also probably in some sort of equilibrium on this chart. Actually, let me do a reverse high to low type of Fibonacci. Okay, I don't think that was correct. But we're just waiting. That's the biggest thing, waiting. I'm always on the 5 minute until we get a 5 minute break of structure to the upside, and then a 5 minute candle that retraces into something. Then I'll use the 1 minute to look for the final leg of the setup strategy. Like, if there's 3 steps to my strategy, which is first step liquidity sweep, there's more than 3 steps, but if there's step 1 is getting a liquidity sweep, like how we just got on this London low, step 2 is a 5 minute break of structure to the upside, step 3 is a 5 minute retrace, and step 4 only can you use the 1 minute. Even then, I just like using the 5 minute because at that point you've already waited like 20 minutes at least just on those 5 minute candles to form, so you might as well wait another 5 minutes. That's how I see it. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys are using this strategy or you're not, or you're trying to see if it's a profitable strategy, because I'm genuinely curious. It looks like we're about to make a gap right here, by the way. This in the future is probably going to be inversed, and then I could probably enter above it right here. So if you think about the strategy that I'm telling you guys, right, if you see a fair value gap, a bearish fair value gap forming early on into the market, then think of that as like in the future, the market makers are going to use this same fair value gap that they made right here on purpose. By the way, they made it on purpose. They're using the same fair value gap to inverse so that they can just go higher and higher. That's why this fair value gap, in my opinion, that's what I'm thinking. That's why this fair value gap was created just now, so that we can inverse it later on purpose. This is here for a purpose. This has a purpose, this fair value gap. It's so it can be inversed. Like, I feel like some candles are dojis so that the high is right here, but the close is right here. You know what I'm saying? So that this move doesn't happen to break structure to the upside. Some candles are formed the way they look for a reason. Some candles, their highs, back-to-back highs are right next to each other so that, you know, and maybe not for that specific 2 candles, but like some candles are made for a reason. You have to think as if the market is like a person, you know? Like if I was a person and if I was trying to deceive people, what would I do to make them think we're going to go lower? I would make a huge bearish fair value gap. I mean, yesterday I looked at the news candle and I was like, okay, I'm not taking this long. We have a huge fair value gap in the way. I don't trust this fair value gap. I'm not taking that. Ended up would have hit take profit if I would have taken it. So yeah, there's stuff that happens for a reason to deceive you guys. Just know if your bias is correct, and it should be correct because you guys are smart and you're learning from me. And I've proven that my bias has been correct multiple times. Even this week, my bias has been complete. My bias on Saturday was correct for the trading day on Monday. My bias on Sunday was correct for the entire week that we've had so far. So I think this candle, and it might not, but I think this candle is going to make it. I think we're pretty likely going to make a fair value gap right here. That's what I think. And if it doesn't happen, then I'll be wrong. But most of the time when I say stuff like that, it's right. And I think we're about to get disproved, literally because they're watching me through my webcam or something. I don't know. Maybe not. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying. It was oh yeah, with my strategy, if your daily bias should be correct, there's going to be certain days if you use the strategy where you just know where the market's going to go. Like you just know the day before today that ES isn't going to take all-time highs until it has a huge sell-off, so that they can purposely make the move happen on New York session open. There's just days that you know it's going to happen, and on those days, those are the days where you trade. So it's like you're going to know if you're going to get a trading day way before the trading day happens, once you get used to the strategy. Like for me, yesterday I was thinking we're probably going to set up for a good long on Friday, and I have videos on my TikTok to prove it, so you guys can watch too. I don't think you guys don't believe me. I'm just saying I know there's some people who are going to be like that want to see the proof, and that's perfectly fine. But I did make videos on my TikTok predicting longs after we had a sell-off to not hit all-time highs on purpose, so that we could do a double draw on liquidity with London high. Like it's very predictable. And I'm not a rocket scientist, guys. I've been doing this for 4.5 months. Like this market experience is 4.5 months worth of market experience. Like it doesn't take that long. It's not as long as you think. The problem is that people don't do psychology. That's the only problem. If you trained your psychology, I mean, look, it took you guys like, if you're still learning, then that's fine. But once you finish learning strategy, it really only takes you guys like a month to learn strategy, or maybe a month and a half or 2 months, right? Think about how long it'll take to learn psychology. A month, 2 months, same amount of time as strategy, right? You're just learning. How long does it take you to learn algebra, right? The basics of algebra, like a month of school. And then once you learn the basics, you start getting into the complex parts of algebra towards the middle of the year. Like, so this is like the basics. But the thing about trading is it's not the same, where it gets exponentially hard. Like with algebra, there's algebra 2, algebra 3, there's calculus, pre-calculus, calculus A, B, B, C. Then there's like chemical engine, you know what I'm saying? Like, trading is like one thing. Trading is like pre-calculus, or just pre-algebra, and then there's no course that comes after pre-algebra. Like trading, you learn trading and that's it. There is no trading level 2 or trading level 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's relatively easy to learn compared to like learning how to be a doctor. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, we're about to get that bearish fair value gap that I thought was going to happen. It's now really easy to inverse. So that fair value gap doesn't have much strength. So that's going to be very easy to inverse when we get into long opportunities. I don't know how low we're trying to go, bro. Maybe into this untapped 1 hour fair value gap, which is a strong confluence. This gap right here, right there. That's a very strong untapped fair value gap. I think we're going to just touch into that. That is on the 1 hour, right? Yeah, it is. It is. Oh, it has been touched before, but it's fine. Doesn't really matter. These gaps were touched like 3 times. So yeah, we'll be fine. Just waiting right now. And by the way, for my strategy, you guys, I usually will be trading from 9:50 to 11. And if there's not a trade within that window, I'm not going to trade for the rest of the day. Now, there was 2 exceptions to that rule earlier this week, because on Monday, I caught a trade during lunch session, which I can try to find if my ICT indicator turns on. It only turns on like the 15-minute. Yeah, on Monday, or no, the day is gone. It's not here anymore, but I caught this. It was this move right here. These 2 blue candles. I caught this move, and that was at like 11:45. So that was like 40 minutes after 11. But usually I'll trade only from 9:50 to 11 because that's when the biggest move happens. So today I'm only gonna trade from I'm only gonna trade till 11. The maximum that this video can be is until this clock hits 11. Then it's done. So like an hour 20 minutes max after everything that you guys have watched just now. But we're just waiting right now. I'm surprised I've been able to find so much stuff to talk about. I don't want to drop too much sauce because then I have to come up with new sauce to drop on my next video. So I don't know. The worst part about starting my YouTube channel literally yesterday is that nobody's gonna watch like the first few videos, and I'm literally dropping the most sauce in these videos right now. So I mean, their loss. I'm gonna promote it on TikTok as much as I can, and I'm gonna tell you guys that like there's gonna be tons of sauce, but if y'all just don't want to watch it, then rip, bro. Y'all are missing out. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just gonna blow up on the first video. Who knows, bro? But very rarely do videos that are this long blow up on their first run through. Let's see what my TikTok is doing. Oh, I got a few comments. I don't want to open them yet because I'm gonna forget that they're there. But some people are asking me to make videos on confluences like order blocks, and then I can't see the other comments because that notification is blocking the other notifications. But I'll do that after this video. Okay, we're in the 1 hour fair value gap. We should react off of this. This fair value gap that we inversed is actually, it's really high up now because we're all the way down here. So I feel like if we get a break of structure eventually, and then a retrace, and then an entry out of, and then I enter here, this is pretty far away to try to catch or try to use as a confluence. Who knows? Maybe a new fair value gap will form while we're getting this candle right here or something. Who knows? This is the boring part of trading though. Is just waiting. Also, you guys should know, like, emotionally, I am not inclined. Like, I didn't see this first candle and be like, oh, I want to take shorts now. Like, none of those emotions should be. You shouldn't be feeling any of those emotions. And the reason why you shouldn't be feeling them is because long term, well, not even long term, pretty short term, these emotions kill your account. So there's no point in feeling them. And it's kind of hard to like detach yourself from emotions like these, but like I was saying earlier, the best way is just to understand why those emotions don't work. And then it's not even like you feel them. You feel them, but you know that they're not gonna help you, so you don't do them. That's how it works with me. That's how I was able to overcome that. Because the emotions are real. We're getting an upwards candle now. This is what we look for. I think we're gonna get a great entry today, guys. Honestly, I think I could set a final take profit at all-time high. No, maybe not because it's a Friday, but I think for sure at least Asian high could get hit pretty easily. 460 risk. Yeah, this is gonna be a great setup. This is gonna be a great setup. It's gonna be like a 1 to 5 if I get my optimal entry. So now we're just waiting. We have to wait. Okay, guys, this is another thing about my strategy is you know how much longer you have to wait to get at least how much longer you have to wait. Like I know that I have to wait for a blue candle, which is 5 minutes, another black candle, 5 minutes, a break of structure blue candle, that's 5 minutes, a retrace candle, that's 5 minutes, and then like 2 more minutes for this 1 minute break of structure to happen, right? So that's like 22 minutes. At least I'm going to be waiting at least 25 minutes before I take a trade. So that's basically what I'm telling myself too. Also, that candle barely made a doji. Would I count this getting closed above as a break of structure? I don't know, honestly. Probably not. That's actually really confusing. That would be a good question. Do dojis count as highs? Let's see. I feel like you combine the 2 candles that are to the left and right of it, and then those are your highs and stuff. Or maybe they are. I guess they are. I guess they are counted as highs. But I mean, we're just selling off anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Macro opens in 4 minutes. The macro starts at 9:50 and technically ends at 10:10, but I just go till 11 because trades happen until like 11. Are we really gonna sweep out this low that I was disregarding? I know these are the lows that I was disregarding. We might actually get an even better entry, which is at this low. Which I don't even want to do the limit order to see how much money that would be, because then I would be thinking about it in a money point of view versus like trying to actually be good at day trading. I don't know if that makes sense. Basically, I was saying like you guys should be thinking while you're trading in a day trading skill set point of view versus a trying to make the most amount of money point of view. Because if you're trying to make money, bro, you would have entered off of this candle and you would think you're good because you caught a short that's 3 candles long or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it from like, can you predict the weather? Are there clouds in the sky that are telling you it's gonna rain? And if there are, then you take a trade. You know what I'm saying? Are there candles on the chart that are telling you it's gonna go up? And if there are, then go up. You know, take a trade. This might be another fair value gap that gets inversed in the future, like how I was saying with this one. But okay, so yeah, all I'm looking for is for price to react off the levels that I marked out at the beginning of this video. So we didn't react off of this 1 hour low, which is also London low. We didn't react off of this fair value gap, which is a 1 hour fair value gap. Now I'm waiting to see, are we gonna potentially react off of this 4 hour or 1 hour low, and then is that gonna make us go higher? And once I see that break of structure, then I'm going to be like, okay, so that level is going to make us go higher, and then I'm going to enter. And that should be money. So, yeah. Oh, gosh. I've been posting so many TikToks recently. I heard people who went from like 0 to 10K in a month on TikTok were posting like 25 times a day. Which is more than I'm posting right now. I'm posting like 9 or 8 videos a day. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes. I'm at like 100. Let's check actually. I'm at 140 something followers, but I had my TikTok page before for like a clothing brand, and it got me to like, I want to say like 68 followers, 69 followers. But I've gained like 70 followers, about 70, 80 followers in like 8 days, which is pretty good. I'm definitely going to hit 100 followers by the end of the week. 100%. Like 100 followers gained on top of what I initially had. So that's going to be cool. I have to post a ton today. I figured out the method for posting. I don't know if anybody watching this is trying to post on TikTok, but all you have to do is just go to ChatGPT, or you go to Creator Search Insights, and you just search up whatever TikTok idea you want to post about, and then put it in ChatGPT and tell it to give you ideas on that topic. That's completely unrelated to day trading, though. Let's see if we react off of this. I want to see if it's a 1 hour or a 4 hour. Okay, it's a 4 hour wick and a 1 hour low. Let's see. I just need us to make a freaking... What the heck? That's the wrong thing. I want there to be like some sort of retrace confluence, like equilibrium or something. I just want something to get hit. I really don't want to see us not react and not get any longs today. I mean, look how much volume we had on this move, right? I don't want that to be the only move of the day, you know? And it's only 9:50, right? Eastern, so still plenty of time to make a move. 9:50 is when the move starts happening usually. That's what I made a video about, actually. I didn't drink any coffee just now, by the way, because I'm trying to explain this to you guys. This is market open to 9:50. I said in that TikTok video a few days ago, the macro is market open to 9:50, and that's where the manipulation happens. And you guys can literally see a 1-to-1 example of that manipulation happening. And then right when 9:50 hits, we get an upwards candle. Now this candle might just keep going down. I don't know. There's still 4 minutes left, but so far it's pretty accurate, you know? So that's pretty cool. The macro doesn't really... It's an ICT concept, like from the big man himself. Big boy ICT. I've actually never really watched an ICT video, but I know all the concepts. Because his videos are like, they feel like a waste of time, I'm not gonna lie. You'll see like a playlist of like 20-hour-long videos. I don't know, I just don't feel like watching all that stuff. Stuff like that can be condensed into like a 30-second TikTok video of me like talking extremely fast. Like for example, I made a video like that. Easy straight.
Literally all you need is a liquidity sweep, break of structure on the 5 minute, a retrace confluence like this 5-minute order block, which got whipped into by this 5-minute candle that also inverses fair value gap, but we can ignore that for now because this is really all you need. And then you enter with stops below the low or the liquidity sweep, and you say you take profit at the 1 hour or 4 hour recent high. And now you just got a 1.
That's like a 20-second video that freaking covers hours of ICT concepts explained in a strategy video for literally free. I don't know, I feel like a lot of the information can be condensed. The only information that cannot be condensed into a couple seconds or a couple TikTok videos of just scrolling and learning is market experience. That's the only thing that can't be rushed. And market experience is this hour-plus long video that you guys are watching right now. That's market experience. This is the stuff that you have to watch the entire thing to just watch these candles form and watch me say, oh, I think it's just an inverse fair value gap forming right now so that we can inverse it in the future. You know, that's the type of stuff that you have to just sit with me and listen to me talk about while it's happening live so you can see how I think. That's the only thing that's really the grind. That's the grind about trading is sitting in the chair for an hour and a half waiting to get an entry that you might never get. Like, that's the grind about trading. The grind about trading is having a daily bias that you have perfectly right, where we have the sell-off to avoid all-time highs, and then maybe not even getting that trade to all-time highs on Friday. You know, that's the hard part. The easy part is learning everything, and once you guys understand that, then you'll be able to learn everything so much quicker, I think. Because then you'll realize the only focus should be on market experience once you've learned all the confluences. And we have a fair value gap forming right here that we potentially could just make right now to inverse in the future. A little market maker gap. That's what I'll start calling them, maybe, if it sticks. Yeah, so we're just going down. I don't know why we're going down so much. We might just end up being tradeless today, and then I'll have explained my entire daily buys for a tradeless day. This is where price is at right now, that dotted line that my cursor horizontal line is over. We're inside of a order block right here. Right there. Which I'll mark out with a line to make it not look terrible on my chart. We're inside an order block. Are we going to react off of it? Who knows, bro? I just did all that talking, now I kind of just want to chill. Just wait and see. And then if you guys click off right now, then oh well. Hopefully I held your attention long enough to stay on. TradingView gives you news, but I don't be really reading that because the news doesn't mean anything unless it's like CPI. Fair value gap formed. Let's inverse this. What would my risk look like? Yep. So now we're gonna have to go to minis to do something like this. I'm only trying to risk like 500 max. A $1,500 day is not enough for me, so I'm going up. Now we're risking 447. What if I do 7? Then it's 521. That's low. That's a good enough entry. Unless it ends up becoming $600, then we have to go back to 6. I think 6 contracts is the move for today. I'm gonna go on mini NASDAQ on my order dashboard to the right of me. Up my contracts to 6. It is 6, right? Yeah, it is 6. And just wait now. And if price goes any higher, I might just have to bite the bullet and risk $20, $30, $50 more than I want to risk. Just because I feel like this is a very strong bullish day. I like that we formed a little bit bigger of a blue doji than that one, or this one, or whichever doji that was looking at that was barely blue. I think it was this one. It's black on MNQ, but it's blue on NASDAQ. What the heck? I've never seen that happen before. Usually these indexes are the exact same colors and everything. Alright, so we'd be risking 477. This is a perfect amount of risk to put on the table for today. This is a great entry, actually. Let's, $2,000 day, bro. That's good enough. I don't need to go higher than that. I'm on a freaking funded, bro. If I do go higher, what's it looking like? It's 556. We'll see. I've got 7 contracts to see how much I'm risking. But on my order dashboard, I've got 6. So if I enter my order dashboard right now, it'll enter me at 6. Once I place the order, then I can like move this over here and you guys can see it on this screen where I actually make the money or lose the money. By the way, this is an evaluation. I'm trying to pass the evaluation in front of you guys. Probably gonna only risk 6 today. That's just better for me, honestly. If I lose this entire amount, I'm at like $50,301 on my balance right now. So if I lose this, I'll be down like 189, which is fine. That's honestly not even bad. On a trade like this, it's better to lose and actually have taken it than just watch it go by you, you know? This is a good trade to lose. But we're just waiting. I'm going to put this to the side so I don't have to really see it bothering my screen, my vision. I'm just waiting. I'm going to mark out that 1 hour low again. I think it's that one. This is the low we just got swept. 5 minute. So yeah, we're just waiting. Are there any 15-minute order blocks? Actually, that's a good question, Cade. Thank you for asking that. 15-minute order blocks are a great confluence. For some reason, the 15-minute just always is absolutely killer with the secondary confluences. This is like if you have a loadout in COD, the 15-minute order block is like the trip mine that you put on the wall, and somebody, it always happens, like once or twice a game, somebody's going to walk on that trip mine and you're going to get an extra kill. That's the equivalent of 15-minute order block confluence. Because usually I just use like 1 hour or 4 hour confluences, but 15-minute order block, 15-minute something, 30-minute order block, 30-minute fair value gap, bro, that's the trip mine. That right there is the trip mine. Y'all are looking at it. Price is going to step on that trip mine and then explode upwards, if you know what I mean. I just winked at you. No, but for real though, that's literally what happens. It's a 15-minute freaking order block. That's literally moving price. It's crazy. It's crazy how it works, bro. Like, it's actually crazy. I've seen setups like this so many times in the past, and they always work out the way I want them to work out, guys. My strategy is so safe and so good. It's like you know when you're gonna take a trade, and if you don't get that feeling the night before,
the market is open.
Fire, the market's open. If you don't get that feeling before the trading day where you're like, yo, we're definitely gonna hit all-time highs tomorrow, then don't trade, bro. Because every time that you use this strategy, you're gonna feel like, yo, this is about to be a great trading day, or this is about to be an amazing trading day, or you're gonna feel like, I really don't know. The second that you feel yourself saying, I really don't know, that's a bad trading day. You're going to lose money. So you avoid it. And that's all it is. It's just, how strong is your little antenna going off of like, yo, market's going to do this today? And like, how much conviction do you have? Because with this strategy, you have a lot of conviction. When you do have conviction, you have a ton of conviction. I have a ton of conviction that we're going to break structure. I have a ton of conviction that this candle is going to form bearish, that the next candle is going to form bullish and break structure. And the next candle after that is going to retrace into something. And then the next candle after that is going to go up and inverse this gap. And then I'll probably enter like right around here after we inverse this gap and break structure to the upside. Or close above the high. That's my conviction for the day. You guys can replay this part of the video if that happens exactly like I said it will happen. 20 minutes from now when I get my entry. To see that like that's how much conviction you can have. Now that's what I'm feeling. It might not happen, but that's how I feel. Regardless, today I have very strong conviction that we're going bullish. That I should be right about. If I'm not right about the exact candles forming in the next 20 minutes, I'll probably be right about us being bullish. It's like I can at least get that part correct, that we're bullish. It's all about conviction. And this strategy gives you a lot of opportunity to have conviction. That's like the most important thing. If you know that it's going to rain the day before it rains, you're never going to get wet. You know what I'm saying? If you know that the market's going to be terrible a day before market open, you're not going to lose on a trade. You know what I'm saying? That's how it be. That's how it be with the strategy that I'm teaching to you, that you're learning from me. You see? All right, we might not be able to do 6 contracts if we just inverse this shit. Yeah, we're definitely not going to be able to do 6 contracts. I'm not going to lie. Let me go down to 4. Now it's only $1,000 day, bro. That's so lame. Right now I'm putting 4 contracts for my potential entry. And it's going up to 5. I'm going to leave it on 5. Because that's generally been the amount of contracts that I've always risked on minis, is 5. So 5 tends to be the average number of contracts I risk using this strategy on a funded account. Let's go all the way to Asian highs. It should be like a $1,400 day, which isn't bad. It's not that 1 to 5 that I was looking for like 20 minutes ago, but it is what it is. Yo, it tells you your RR, bro. I have never seen this before. It tells you it's like a 1 to 2. That's crazy, bro. I don't have to mark out the position pixel for pixel anymore. Let's see. It should be 2.44. Yo, that's crazy. I never knew that it told you that, bro. That's crazy. That's actually clutch. Alright, guys, so if we get an inverse fair value gap on this candle that's forming right now, then that would be our break of structure, basically. That's the same thing as a break of structure. And then we might retrace into this fair value gap that would hopefully be formed off of this candle wick and the next one that forms after it. Hopefully we get that retrace, guys. If not, then I'll just enter off of a 1 minute confluence at that point because I'm super bullish. Let's see. So we broke structure, we retraced into the fair value gap, we closed. Ideally, you could actually just enter off of this low key. We're just gonna wait. I'm gonna show you guys what it means to be a patient trader, I guess. I don't want to go tradeless today anymore now that I see this price action, but I have seen price retrace. I have entered early before, and then I've seen price retrace exactly to where I wanted it to retrace, to where I could have gotten a better entry. And I'm not about to enter right now at the top of this candle and then get a retrace that I miss out on, so I'm gonna just wait. Plus, if I enter right now, it's, well, I would have to risk like 4 contracts. Alright, so we're getting our inverse. Now I'm waiting for a 1 minute retrace. There's no way we just go higher, bro. That's so annoying. That's very, very annoying. Where did my limit order go, bro? I guess it doesn't matter if we can just do that. 4 contracts. Give us a retrace, bro. Should have entered off 1 minute conferences. RIP. Rest in peace. Where's Asia High? Right now we're at a 1.87. Give me that retrace. Yes, sir. I'm gonna put 4 contracts on my dashboard on my other screen. We might risk a little bit heavier. 672. That's a lot heavier actually. So I'm probably gonna have to do 3 contracts. Like, that's really annoying, but you know, ED is what ED is. You know what I'm saying? By the way, I haven't looked at ES like at all. For SMTs or anything, which is low-key crazy. I usually look at ES way more than I'm looking at it right now. Let's see what's happening on ES, guys. ES is giving us a way better entry. We might just enter on ES, bro. That might be the move for today. Let's see if there's an SMT. Okay, what low was this? This was the 835 low, right? Where's 835 on ES? Wait, hold up. What day was it? The Thursday at 835 low. Thursday, 835. Okay, it's not an SMT. We're both of them are above that low. Oh wait, no, it is an SMT. I'm tweaking. What the frick? I'm literally tweaking, bro. That is an SMT. I'm tweaking. We're literally higher than that low. Yeah, that is 100% an SMT. What the frick was I on? That is a massive SMT. Yes, sir. Give me that one, twin. I'll take that. Yeah, we're definitely taking our entry on ES, bro. ES is much better than this. ES is not on some BS. Let's just say that. Gosh. Bro, was that 15-minute order block? I'm telling y'all. I should have just entered off that 15 min for real. 1 minute break of structure off the 15 minute. Should have entered off this candle. And then we're in the money. That's the entry I'm probably going to make a TikTok video about. Shoot, bro, I be making TikTok videos about like the best trade of the day. It's like I literally said that's the trip mine, bro, and freaking I miss out on it. Now we're having to take this trade on ES, which ain't on some BS. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, we might if on Nasdaq we make this a gap, and then we re-entry into there, like that, and then get a good close out of there. I could enter off Nasdaq, but I also want to risk more. If that means taking the trade on ES, I'll just take the trade on ES. Whatever trade or whatever index gives me the better thing, you know, the better entry. Have ES highs been hit? No, bro. We're gonna be so bullish today. It's not even funny. Like you guys are cray cray if you aren't watching my channel at least. at least once a week or something, bro. Or my TikToks. Just watch the freaking daily buys that I post on Sunday for the entire week, and then that's all you have to watch, and then you're gonna know where the market's gonna go for the entire week. And maybe if my daily bias is like, yeah, I don't know where the market's going, that's gonna be a bad week for the strategy, for my strategy. Maybe not for your strategy if it's different from mine, but if you're using my strategy, just watch my video that I'm gonna post at the beginning of every week, and that should give you an outlook on the entire week. I literally said on Sunday or Saturday, was it, that I think we're gonna hit all-time highs multiple days this week. We've already hit all-time highs like twice, I think. Like it's wild. The strategy gives you so much conviction. I don't know. Maybe you guys feel the same way that I feel about my strategy for your strategy, you know? Maybe your strategy gives you that much conviction. Conviction is like, it's all you need, bro. Conviction or a lack of conviction is what you need. And then if it's ever just a lack of conviction, you just don't trade. Alright, so we were in a downtrend right here. Then we broke structure on this candle. We had a retrace into some sort of order block right here, probably. There's definitely a confluence on the 15-minute back there. Let me put a horizontal line. Let's find one. Let's go on the 15-minute. Let's find the order block on the... Yeah, right there. 15-minute. That was the 15-minute order block. And then we broke structure above there. Bro, we could enter like right now. For real. Waiting for the retrace is all now. That's all I'm waiting for. Let's look at the fib. What is this like on the Fibonacci? The Fibonacci. Is Fibonacci Italian? Italian word? Yo, it is. Fibonacci. The Fibonacci. This side they don't show you on TikTok. Question mark. Let's see, is NASDAQ gonna not retrace at all? You guys see how ES is giving me like a way better entry? ES loves me more. If I could buy if I could press this button to buy, that would be great. We're reloading that. The Fibonacci. ES is also, one contract on ES is worth less than a contract on NASDAQ. C4 is, 4 contracts is 150 risk. That's like baby food, bro. Let's go to 10. Yeah, 10 is 375. That's wild. Let's go to 11. Let's go to 12. Let's go to 13. Let's go to 14. 14 contracts. Is 14 contracts the move, amigos? Or 13? Can you even trade that many? How many mini contracts can you... Yo, I cannot type. Top step. That was hard to watch myself, dude. 5 mini contracts, twin, what? I'm trying to trade 14. Like, what? This is why I go on the big boy contracts. Yo, are we finally getting a retrace that I was begging for like a year ago? Let's trade this on ES. How many big boy contracts can you... Yo, how to invert your camera on OBS. Okay, twin. Exposing me like that. 5 mini contracts. How many big contracts? Okay, so they're not very specific. Okay, I don't know. My question wasn't answered. Maybe I'm just dumb, but low-key I did not get any answer on that for real. I might have to take the trade on ES unless NASDAQ gives me a good re-entry. Oh gosh. I have to find that 15-minute order block. That's what I'm going to be taking the trade off of on ES. The order block right here. This is my retrace confluence now because price action is lagging on ES, which is actually good in this scenario because I can get a better entry. So if we close bearish here, which I hope happens, and then we get a break of structure to the upside, that also reacts or counts as a reaction off of this 15-minute order block, then I would look at the 1 minute for just anything bullish to enter because I know where the market's going. NASDAQ is not retracing. NASDAQ is telling us we're going to go higher. There's a huge bullish S&T that I marked out somewhere that you guys remember me saying, the one that I didn't see at first, which is somehow gone. Okay, it's on this one. But yeah, we're just waiting. We're still waiting. I should have, well, I can't say I should have, because then that would make you guys think that you should do something dumb eventually in like another trading day for you guys. Let's find out how much we can risk on ES. I think it's going to be 2 contracts on ES. It might just be 1 actually. Let's go to 2 and put it at this low. If I do end up risking 2, I haven't looked at the number yet. $3,000 day. Yo, that's a funded account in a day. That's honestly too much. Because I won't. Top Step's going to get me with the consistency rule, so I might as well just risk 1 and only make. But then again, I'm like, I don't know, bro. I kind of want to risk 2. Guys, don't do this. No, I can't. I have to be a good example to you guys. You know what I'm saying, twin. Let's just go and retrace, please. Let's actually not make one ginormous leg up. Alright, so we had the 5-minute retrace. Oh wait, actually this is an entry. 5-minute closed above there. Okay, as soon as this 1-minute candle breaks structure, or have we already broken structure? We low-key have. I might just enter off this for real. Let me go on ES. How many contracts? 2 contracts below that low. That's what we're risking. As soon as this 1-minute candle closes in 3 seconds, I'll move the take profit later. I'm entering. Are you guys ready to hear the noise? Hold up. Yeah, bro, we're gonna, it's gonna hit. That's an entry.
Order filled.
There you go. Order has been filled. Let's do it on ES on here too, so y'all can see the paper trading happen at the exact same time. It's like 500. Hold up. Hold up, twin. Where's my stop loss? Okay, I see it. It's right here. Yeah, it's like right here. Take profit, just put it up there for now. This is basically what we're doing, except a little bit better risk entry, probably like right there. Yep, this is what our trade looks like essentially. Lots of potential. This is a trade that I'm going to take to break even once I can, you know. We reacted off of a 15-minute, broke structure to the upside on a 1-minute. And you can see we're in now, we're live. This paper trade is just kind of an example. Actually, I could just make a literal short position or long position. Broke structure to the upside. Entered a little bit lower than this breaker structure candle. It's fine. I'm gonna remove this. I don't want to. I was just gonna put a long position, like right. That's on the 5-minute. Like right there. And my stop loss is kind of buns. I'm not gonna lie. Where is my stop loss? Stop loss is right. Yeah, like right here, I would say. Under the black candle. Targeting this. Which is, where is that? I think it's London high. I'll take it to London high. Yo, why is my paper trade looking way different from my actual trade? My actual trade, I have potential to make 1925. On this one, I have potential to make 2,625. The Sigma. But we're in. Now we just watch. Is this a scary retrace that's happening on NASDAQ all of a sudden? Potentially. I don't know, you have to just stick to your guns. Trading, you can't get scared. Right now you have to be like, yeah, it's going to be red for a bit. That always happens before it goes higher. Maybe I can make that into my strategy, like 5-minute break of structure, or then a 5-minute reaction off of entry confluence, which is this 15-minute gap, or order block, I mean. And then a candle close up, which is this one. And then you wait 5 more minutes to see if it goes any lower. And then you enter, and then you bottom tick that move to win. Should I make that part of my strategy? That would low-key be like a wild entry model. Here's my, let me just show you my thing. This is it. 675 risk because the stop loss was kind of cooked. I'm not gonna lie. But you gotta risk money to make money for real. I would say these entries are like relatively the same on this one and this one. It's pretty much the same. I know that taking trades in the past, it'll always take me to like 400 something drawdown, and then it'll go up. I'm not gonna lie either. This is scary. Like if y'all are if you have profit set to where it shows you your profit, it's low key scary. Don't get me wrong. So it might be better to change it to like ticks or whatever, you know. It like even I'm right now kind of feeling a little bit like what the frick, like 275 because it was at like 400 like 2 seconds ago and y'all saw that. But I'm not changing anything. Hands off the keyboard, off the mouse. If I lose, if I get stopped out, bro, I'll take a trade next week and make $2,000 off of that, and I'll be fine. So yeah. Now we just watch. Let me move my short position. I mean long position. Right there. And this is the scary part. Let me go on NASDAQ, see what NASDAQ is doing. Everybody get stopped. That's wild. Any second now it should stop me out. Haven't been stopped out on this. I'm very close though. Very close. You guys do not want to see how close I am. Very close to stop loss. I should enter with one contract so I can put my stop loss below the sweep. That's the mistake that I made today. Entering with 2 contracts on ES. That's my only mistake I made today. My actual trade is still alive. That one died, but this one's still alive. That was the fake trade, so the mock trade. The worst part about this is that I can't move stop loss.
Or
Stop that. Okay, let me show you guys what this shit looks like. My stop loss legitimately looks like this. If you see my screen. It was literally right here, and my stop loss was right here for like, and then for like 5 minutes we were right here doing this. That sucks. Let's see. That's 2 losses in a row. That's tough. Or no, yeah, 2 losses in a row. Reset chart view. See what happens. If ES gets a break of structure and then a retrace, I'm entering on that at 1 contract. We'll see. I know where the market wants to go, and I'm not trying to lose on this level of conviction. I just lost $680. Stop loss filled me out a little bit lower. We're just gonna see. The entry model didn't happen on ES, but, well, no, it actually did. Because we had a 5-minute entry into the retrace. Or no. Did we? 1 minute break of structure to the upside, 1 minute retrace. Or, yeah, we technically did. Break of structure. I entered like right here, around right here. Honestly, I should put my stops. My stops should be right here below this low. But I risked 2 contracts, and it was way too much to risk. So I should have put 1 contract, but I didn't do it. Didn't see it or something. I don't know. Let me see how much is 1 contract. Because 1 contract or 2 contracts was supposed to be a good stop, but it wasn't. Let's see. 562. Yeah, 2 contracts is way too much. I'm gonna see if we get another entry off of this. Let's see. This is wild. Alright, I'm gonna wait for the entry on ES to happen on the 5-minute. See, that's why I say only trade the 5-minute entry, because it's so annoying, bruh. So we just wait. We have to wait for a break of structure on this 5-minute. I'm still gonna take another. I'm gonna take another trade today, but out of brains, not out of revenge. And it might take me like 20 minutes until I find another trade. Until it hits 11, I'm done. When it hits 11, I'll be done. Especially for today too. Probably gonna get hated on for doing this, for real. Oh well. I did make a mistake though. My mistake was like low key. My entry should be on the MNQ candle forming like this, and then doing contract like right there to go to London. Asia highs. Let's see if we put 5. This should be the entry. Yeah, I completely messed up that entry. I'm not gonna lie. Holy bro, I completely messed up that entry. That's cray cray. We're just gonna have to catch the real entry this time. I just made a crazy mistake on stream for you guys. That's wild. But I guess now you guys see. Don't enter off the 1 minute unless it's a 5 minute entry. Don't enter off the 1 minute unless it's a 5 minute. I don't know, we'll see. I took that trade and I saw it going down. I was like, fuck. I was like, we're getting stopped out. That's tough. It'd be like that for real. Now I'm not gonna cut that out or anything. Y'all are gonna see that for real. Let's see if we can get this break right here on ES. Once ES starts moving higher, then NASDAQ will start hitting that London, Asia all-time highs. We're just waiting, bruh. I think NASDAQ might consolidate while ES finishes its entry model. Market is cooked right now. Volume is down because it's Friday. We'll see. My balance on the funded is 49,620. So I still have like a ton of opportunity left to bring it back. It's really not that bad. Just feels bad in the moment. Like when you take a trade like this and you lose, obviously you're gonna feel like horrible. But I'm not revenge trading right away. I'm not entering into a new trade right away. I'm waiting. First of all, because his entries are cooked, bro. These entries are cooked. I need to go on minis. That's the solution. Let's see. Minis on NASDAQ MES. I'm just gonna watch for now. If I see something, then I'll take it, and if not, then it's fine. Break of structure right there, 15-minute order block. Just waiting. Full port Friday streaming. Crazy. Yo, I got followers, twin. EQ. This is that retrace I was talking about that I was like, I've entered early before and I've gotten stopped out on the not making a retrace. Or thinking it won't make a retrace. That's what's happening right now, that retrace. inverse fair value gap on NASDAQ. Let's see. This could be our entry. Tap into EQ, bro. What the frick? There we go. I don't like ES, bro, on this consolidation bullshit. Consolidation bullshit. Let me go to MNQ. Where is stop loss supposed to be, twin? Yeah, I would definitely put it just below. Oh!
Apparently TJR just drove by. About to go find his ass.
Y'all gotta.
Apparently TJR just drove
That's such a funny video. That's a repost. Check out my recent reposts. Y'all gotta check that shit out. That's crazy. It's funny. Well, I am. Love him, bro. Let's see. Where are we on this fib? We're not anywhere on the fib, but let's just check. This is unprofitable behavior, bro. That entry that I just took. Don't know what I was thinking. That's unprofitable behavior. I'll post it for you guys so you guys can do a little bit of learning off that, but shit, bro. It's a stain to my name. Let's see. ES, don't just barcode me. Don't barcode me, twin. Don't do this to me, twin.
About to go find his ass. Apparently TJR just drove by. About to go find his ass. ICT is not profitable. Hey, is it true you cocked Brez?
You dropped 2 one-liners on that. It's crazy.
Apparently TJR just drove by. About to go find his ass. ICT is not profitable.
That's hilarious. The mosh pit been toxic. Can we retrace right now?
I share TikTok 2.5 minutes. Hey, bro.
If you have any type of momentum, take it, run with it.
Bro, I get so many motivational videos on that shit. Let's see. This love don't feel like feeling we start. SMT on a 1 minute. Minute. 10:33, 10:34. Ah, twin. Twin. Don't consolidate on me. Don't consolidate on me. Do not consolidate on me. Do not consolidate on me. Do not consolidate on me. That stop loss was definitely way too low, Twinnington. I should be risking. I should have done 1 contract. I don't think we're gonna get any trades off of this consolidation for real. Who knows? Maybe it'll reverse, but I don't know, bro. IDK about that. Retrace me into the fair value gap, bro. Get this shit over with. This love don't feel like from when we started. Retrace me, retrace me. There we go. This coffee tastes horrible, bro. It's legitimately like dirt. It tastes like dirt. Price is moving too slow, bro. That's the problem with ES. I feel like every day this week ES has been the killer for me. Not good. If you're only starting. I'd be risking lighter on this next one. That's 682. Hold up, how much potential to go up? Let's go to London High. 1200. Yeah, I'll put like 4 contracts on that. And we'll see. This is baby money, bro. I want to just trade a live account, but I do not have my 50k lying around. Low key. Wait, hold up. MNQ. How many contracts? 4. Yeah, he's right.
Yesterday I said I didn't want ES to hit these all-time highs before market open today, and it looks like that happened exactly as I thought it would. We had a sell-off right after I made that.
We did hit equilibrium on. Oh, yo, what the fuck is this box, twin? We hit equilibrium. That box was not drawn correctly.
And the news today was way different from the news yesterday because the news candle right here barely made an impact on price.
So we have hit equilibrium. We're probably gonna push a little bit more into it. We're also in this fair value gap right here, and equilibrium. You know what I'm saying? Like it might be a little bit of another trade. I want to play music, but I'm gonna get copyrighted, bro. That's the problem with YouTube, bro. Freaking copyright. Why does copyright exist? Like, I can't play your music and promote your music on a video because he's trying to take my money. Come on, bro. How is somebody gonna make a goated song and then not, like, let other people listen to it in front of other people? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, bro. It's wild. I mean, I know why they want to make money, but, like, still, bro. Yo, how long are we going to be sitting in this chair today? We're in equilibrium, we're in a fair value gap. This is where the only reversal would happen. Like I said at the beginning of the video, though, we did move a huge move down, so potential for another move to happen to the upside is kind of hard, kind of rare. Depending on how this candle forms, though, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm turning this indicator off. This shit is so So slow, bro. Let's form a 1 minute gap. Let's inverse the gap. Let's break structure in the 5 minute. Let's close outside of this equilibrium. Let's enter. Stops below the fair value gap. Let's take a long, bro. I have no patience for this. ES is just consolidating, bruh. Mad corny. ES consolidating so much is gonna make me not want to take a trade on NASDAQ. If we don't get it trade entry by 11, I'm done. Y'all are gonna see me get cooked by market. Yeah, for real. That's so tough. Let's see if we inverse this 5 minute gap right here. Honestly, I can just delete the fib. Actually, I'll leave it up. I'll leave the fib. It goes up here. We're in the golden zone on the fib. We have gone past the fair value gap. On the 1 minute, okay, there's 2 minutes left on this 5 minute. On the 1 minute, let's see if we can break structure or inverse this in the next 2 minutes before that 5 minute candle closes. And by then, ES needs to stop consolidating. This is where the break of structure would happen. This is mad annoying. But if I take this trade, I could get cooked on market again in front of you guys twice. 2 cookings. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Should I not take this trade because I'm afraid y'all are going to hate on me in the comments? Should I not take the trade because ES is consolidating? That's the biggest reason why I wouldn't want to take the trade. I don't know why ES is consolidating. NASDAQ is in all of these zones it needs to be in to take a trade. I mean, to get a reaction. Bro. Don't know what's happening. Probably just Friday chop. Friday chop. So right now down 380 on the combine. So the entire week I lost $380, which is not bad. I want to see a reaction off of this fib level. I would be willing to take one more trade. Just because I'm very bullish. I just needed to move. That's the problem though, like consolidation is so cooked. Consolidation is so cooked. 1025. They're both going down. I mean not ES, NASDAQ might be the lagging index. I don't know, I'm really tired, bro. I'm not gonna take a trade. That trade is not gonna get hit because of this consolidation. Unfortunately, that's what I think.
From 2023 till 2024, your investment has paid off. Go ahead and cash it out because TikTok's about to take over him. Maybe in a couple of years we'll be able to retrieve him back like he did, where now he has a solid core fan base. But all like the fake baddies on TikTok, now we're making TikToks to his sound. So is GG's. We'll retrieve him back maybe in a couple of years. But now, we invested low, we sell high. Low O, we'll be seeing you in a couple of years, man. I don't know.
You guys hearing this?
Baddies took Osama-san. Follow me.
Bro, people are such haters, bro. If you didn't watch the leak, you are not a real fan, bro. What? People are such haters. Some rapper is finally getting attention by like mainstream TikTok, and they're like, yo, y'all gotta stop being his fans now. He's going mainstream. Haters, bro. Y'all are haters. It's wild. Alright, low-key break of structure to the upside on 1 minute. Could be good. If ES just decides to chop, we're cooked. What are the chances of PM session reversal? Let's see what people say about this. Yeah. Decreased volume, reluctance of traders. This little don't feel the same, felt when we started. This little don't feel the same, felt when we started. Now everybody fake this. I might have to take the L today, guys. $380 down on the week, not bad at all. 50k funded. Let's not turn this into a $1,000 loss, obviously. We haven't even found an entry though, so there's literally no real reason to entry. Only thing I'm waiting for is for market to at least show signs that it could reverse. Is that gonna happen? Who knows, bro? It's Friday. Not as much volatility. We're at the perfect zone for a reversal to happen. Wicks have happened at this zone. I don't know, bro. It's ES again. ES is on some BS. Let's look. It's just chop, bro. Can't really read this. This is kind of cooked, and by kind of I mean like really cooked. It's cooked, bro. Cooked. ES is cooked. This is a wild box. This is a wild fib retrace, bro. Let me retry it. Now everybody fake this. Bro, this is a like energy drain, bro. Come on, ES. Is there a 1 minute break of structure to the upside? I risked way too much on that ES trade. Should have been like a $400 loss, bro. What the frick? Is NQ back at where we started? Crazy. The question that I'm asking now is, do I want to trade into this consolidation, looking for that reversal that I feel like is going to happen super strongly, and am I willing to lose like $300 more today? Yeah, $300 I can lose. If ES stops consolidating, which it's not, I would be able to take a trade. I don't think we're getting a trade today. 5 minutes until 11. At 11 we're done. So we're not going to get a trade. This candle, I don't think this candle can even, the only thing that could happen would be a 1 minute break of structure. And then that's all that could happen before 11 pretty much. Which I don't think is happening. cooked price action. If you look at this screen, this is MNQ. We are in equilibrium on the 5 minute, and this is the same thing on the 1 minute. We're playing in this fib zone. I kind of just want to see what happens. If I draw my fib on this one too, because it's a little bit cleaner of a chart, then yeah, I mean, you can see this is the golden zone. Had an inverse fair value gap to the upside on the 5 minute. Had a retrace, getting a reaction. Just waiting, bruh, for a real ski. Let me leave that up there, actually. It's like an extra. Yo, I need to get these fair value gaps off my box, except for the lowest one. Look how much stuff is on my screen. Delete. I'm really tired now. All my energy is fading. Now everybody fake this. Yes, it's consolidating too much. ES took all-time highs, bro. Oh wait, no, wait, yeah, that was yesterday. Why are we dumping? Does not make sense. Two minutes till 11. Probably just gonna take my L. Make it back next week, you know what I'm saying? Can we just close? Yes, ES. What the frick even is this? Let me go equilibrium from the high to the low to look for bearish confluences, just to see. Yep, that's a freaking fair value gap box, twin. What the frick am I doing? So high to the low. We went into there, closed out. We're respecting bearish stuff right now, which is low-key a bummer. I don't know why we are bearish, but we are bearish. I'm gonna delete this. It's probably, yeah, it's 40 seconds till 11, guys. Market's done. I don't know what it's doing. We were not bearish at all. My conviction was wrong. For the same reason that it's been wrong the entire week, right? Or on the trade that I lost. Not the entire week. I've been correct. We have hit all-time highs. Reason it was wrong is because ES was chopping around while NASDAQ was making this move up. I think on Wednesday we did the same thing, where on Wednesday ES was chopping while NASDAQ was going up, and then they ended up both going down. So I was looking at bullish NASDAQ, and then ES went bearish, or not even bearish, ES went consolidation. And so nothing happened. And also it's Friday, which it being Friday shouldn't really be the reason for bad market. But there is a little bit less volume. On market open we had some volume, but it had a quick drop off. Did it really? Well, now we're at like the low thousands. I don't know. That's trade recap for today, guys. If y'all want to see more of these, subscribe. The biggest takeaway from this is don't revenge trade like I didn't revenge trade. Also, just look for good entries. The biggest killer, I guess, from today is ES not correlating with NASDAQ, even though they were literally perfectly correlating this entire time until market open. This is wild. This is like NASDAQ does what it wants to do, what it should do. ES just does this. I don't know. I could not foresee that. But yeah, that's today's video. If y'all enjoyed, make sure to subscribe. This is a losing day. A losing week now, actually. But y'all will see every trade recap from now on. So yeah, peace. I will see y'all later. I appreciate y'all for watching. I love and appreciate y'all. Bye. Peace.